Thank you. And I too would like to welcome the Minister to the House and also to welcome this motion, and I fully support it. What we're discussing here is the protection of children, plain and simple. This motion is premised on the judgment of Mr Justice John McMenamin in the High Court last year. The judge has subsequently been appointed to the Supreme Court. Mr Justice McMenamin has vast experience in the area of child protection prior to and since his appointment to the bench, and was to the fore prior to any government action in ensuring that the best interests of the child were the paramount consideration in any case that came before him. Senators should note that the judge was in charge of the minors list in the High Court for 3 years and delivered some very important decisions in relation to the rights of children. In other words, the view of this judge needs to be taken very seriously. And while I recognise that there are many different cultural practices and wishes in Ireland, particularly now due to our increased ethnic and religious diversity, any wish not to offend a minority cannot take the place of the common good and society's need to protect children. There are several issues highlighted by the judge that we need to address at a minimum. The fact that an application to the courts to exempt a minor from the age restriction can be made without any notice to authorities, including child protection. The lack of legislation directly addressing forced marriages, the need for a designated person or agency to provide support in such circumstances. Of course, none of the insufficiencies in the system noted by the judge prevents the Oireachtas legislating to remove the exemption fully, should it wish to do so. Senators should note that in England and Wales, parents of children forced into marriage now face up to 7 years in jail, and the practice has been outlawed in Scotland for some time. I would just voice one note of caution. There is a distinction to be made, as in the new English legislation, between a forced marriage where one or both of the parties does not consent and an arranged marriage where the parties consent but can refuse to marry if they so wish. We should keep that in mind and just not to confuse the two. I would like to thank finally Senator Bacic for bringing forward this motion, and I would just like to close with comments from colleague Senator Van Turnhout that 14 million girls marry before the age of 18 annually throughout the world. We cannot criticise this practice internationally and yet have domestically insufficient protections to stop it happening here. Thank you.